So let's speak on it. Hopefully Candy can explain why Marlo was going off, because we're all confused. I mean, we're sorry that your cousin passed, but it was no reason for you to go off on Drew. It seems like you are truly struggling for a plot line, much like Sheree Whitfield. Oh, God, no, Candy ain't here. And we don't have a guest. I don't want to hear it from him, so I'm not watching. I guess we'll just have to go to Carlos Thick Tongue King for a shower of spittle. Girl, he had to open the show saying he knows how to pronounce notification, not notification. He was just saying that, probably trying to be like me. See, when I do it, it's cute. When you do it, people think you're illiterate because you sound illiterate. Carlos, you want to talk about the episode because you love anything Bravo in your mouth. Carlos thought the beginning of the episode was boring and don't feel like seeing the toddler go up against the grandmama. And I'm with you. I feel like they could have left that footage of Candy's mama disrespecting Todd on the cutting room floor and it's no longer interesting. And I think Heifer Joyce is doing that just to show, see, Todd's only putting up with this kind of behavior because he wants your money. But if you want to talk about fresh plot lines, you're 6 seasons into Huntsville and you're still milking the dysfunction and divorce betwixt Martell and Mel. We don't care. Like you don't care about this, we don't care about that. He said Mama Joyce will go down as the GOAT of mamas on reality TV, in companies such as Mama D. I think you're forgetting about Deb Hip Atney, but Mama Joyce is also cruel and dysfunctional. I mean, she's disrespecting her grandchildren's father. Let's not forget. He ain't here for Drew's musical plotline, and neither am I. But I think that was a Snow plotline to get them to the divorce. And then she divorced at the end of the season to get her another check for next. He thinks they may need to go back to the original cast and focus on them because the personal stories are thin. They've been thin. I didn't know you had so much meat over in Huntsville. I'd call those stories anemic as well. Oh, God. At least he's plugging himself saying, Sheree is interesting with Martell. We get to see her in a relationship with a guy who's on reality television. We're more shocked about the man part, Carlos. We heard that little slick shade. I heard it. I heard that pause. He's on the #1 show on OWN. Lord, you are going up against old reruns of Oprah. That is not an accomplishment. He wants to know why we're not seeing more cracks in Drouth and Rue's union. I honestly think they stayed together because of the show. I think if the show hadn't happened, they would have been got divorced. We just wouldn't have heard about it because we didn't care. Carlos wants to know why we're not getting anything with Kenya and Mark, because Mark don't mess with her. He only mess with her money. Carlos, why do you want to see Kenya's divorce from her donor? They were married for 10 minutes. They were together for 5. They've been divorcing for 3 years. I honestly don't care. Like, we never really saw him. We got him for 2 seconds. I'm over it, and so is she. I'm more interested in Kenya's new man than her old donor. Also, Kenya has a habit of trying to get men to prove that she has a man for the show. I feel like this was just another plot line gone awry, because Kenya ain't afraid to lie. Then he talking about Brandon's her best friend. They talk every day. When has Brandon been on? We ain't seen him since Pillow Talk. I don't know why the show won't let him slip on his Fredericks of Hollywood nightgown and come on back. He gonna pat himself on the back for asking about Kenya's divorce. 4 years later, we don't care. Brooklyn's what, 12, 15 now? We're over it. We about to have her come out with her own version of Better Late Than Never is what they say. I don't love daddy anyway. He patting himself on the back and tapping his ass. Girl, if you don't shut up. Carlos, we don't care about Brandon. Do y'all need to see Brandon come back? Do you need to see the sissy? No. And I'm tired of them girls using gays as accessories. No. I like Kenya's evolution and her not being a butt anymore, but I don't think Brandon needs to be her plot line. Also, I don't think we're getting anything with Mark because Mark don't want to be on the show. He almost banned Brooklyn from being on the show. Mark don't want it. He wants to keep his business out the street, out the street. How's she gonna ask Sheree for advice on what to do in a divorce? Sheree got fleeced by wonky-eyed Bob. She couldn't see him coming with two eyes. That was pathetic. So if I was Kenya, I'd keep my mouth shut. Candy ain't been divorced. Who else on the show? She ain't gonna talk to the new heifer because she peachless. Sanya ain't been divorced. Drew about to get divorced, but her sissy gonna run her pockets, so Drew ain't got no help for her. Carlos said that Courtney is the thirsty meat on the pork chop. Now we have Moneta versus Marlo. Now he knows Moneta personally, of course you do. And she's the force multiplier. He loves Moneta, but she's being Candy's puppet. I wouldn't say so much Candy's puppet as this is where she sees where she can bite in for a plot line. He said Moneta was being real last year. She's just boring. She's a nice girl, very friendly, but she boring. Now she's acting thirsty for a plot line. I can dig it. So now we get into Drew being forced to ask about the shooting, because production was prodding. Carlos understands why Candy can't say too much about the investigation, but understands why production wanted her to speak on it. Now he gonna tell us why Marlo was upset. He gonna tell us something he do know. Spill your tea, girl. The girls feel like they can't come for Candy's business. Well, I can get why Bravo will allow that because they also allowed somebody to spread rumors about her assaulting someone and drugging someone. So I can see why Bravo's like, you know what? We really hung you out to dry and it really could have been something. So we just gonna keep it cute and not get sued. Pepperidge Farm remembers. So Marlo got miffed that Drew didn't say shooting because she wants to take Candy down. Oh God, you really don't think Marlo was trying to get a moment? I'm sorry, the way she put them other boys out, I don't think she cares that much about a niece or a nephew. He'll give this episode a C, but we're giving Love and Marriage Huntsville a D- this season, a D-. I'll be reviewing your show next. Let's grade that. He feels like he's being robbed of deep personal story. What deep personal story have you given for you to be robbed of it? You'd have to give it for us to take it. You ain't giving no story, so you just a viewer like everybody else. Everybody on TV get a plot line. Get a plot line. Get a plot line. Everybody with a franchise get some plot lines. Get some plot lines. Get some plot lines. As I rap from the 5 to the 4 to the 3, we're tired of Martell and Melody. 5 to the 6 to the 7 to the 8, Tiffany and her ugly husband are really late. 10 to the 11, now to the 12, put Tisha and Marceau on the shelf. Everybody with the show get a plot line. Real plot line. Real plot line. Everybody with the show get a plot line. A real plot line. Real plot line. Heifer.